my leg.
His leg had been injured so many times that the doctor who treated him had already become a millionaire. To make matters worse, the doctor gave Fred a serious warning. If he broke his leg one more time, he would have to get a robotic leg. Fred actually thought that sounded pretty cool, but after seeing the robot desperately beg him, Fred finally agreed that he would take better care of his feet from now on. After leaving the hospital, Fred ran into SpongeBob. SpongeBob felt incredibly guilty because he had accidentally injured Fred's foot before. Fred wanted SpongeBob to stay as far away from him as possible, but SpongeBob decided to stay by Fred's side and protect him at all times. When Fred was about to step into a dirty puddle, SpongeBob immediately jumped in front of him. When a banana peel appeared on the sidewalk, SpongeBob instantly ate it. Before long, Fred arrived at work, but the job was basically a nightmare for his feet. So SpongeBob disguised himself as the boss and tried to show Fred a safer way to do the job. But the very next second, SpongeBob was pulled straight into a cutting machine. The accident caused the machine to malfunction, and the entire factory exploded. After that, Fred decided to visit a wizard for help, but the wizard was nothing more than a fraud. He told Fred to walk barefoot across a bed of red-hot coals. Just as Fred was about to step onto the burning coals, SpongeBob suddenly jumped in front of him. Fred ended up walking across the entire path on SpongeBob's back to protect Fred even better. SpongeBob and Patrick even became his personal bodyguards. They were suspicious of everyone, even a little kid selling cookies. Patrick snatched the kid's cookies away. The kid immediately bit Patrick's foot. Patrick ended up being rushed to the hospital. After seeing this, Fred actually looked jealous. That's when SpongeBob finally discovered the truth. Fred kept injuring his leg just so he could go to the hospital and see the person he had a crush on. After learning the truth, SpongeBob decided to help him. First, he borrowed a hammer and planned to use it to injure Fred, but he accidentally sent the hammer's owner to the hospital instead. Next, he tried using a jellyfish to electrocute Fred, but he ended up nearly electrocuting himself to death. Finally, SpongeBob tied Fred to a railroad track. He was convinced that Fred would definitely get injured this time, but just then, a robot suddenly rushed over and stopped the train. The robot didn't want to give up his own leg for Fred, so SpongeBob gave Fred his own leg instead. But SpongeBob screamed,
Hey, my leg!
An ambulance immediately arrived at the scene, but as the ambulance was leaving, it somehow ran straight over Fred, and just like that, Fred finally made it back to the hospital. He couldn't wait to see the person he had a crush on, but just then, the ground suddenly began shaking violently. A huge nurse slowly appeared in front of them, and she turned out to be the very woman Fred had been in love with all along.